Hey guys, welcome to the Wednesday Cardone University Mastermind. My name is Steve Sprague, coming to you live from the 305. Guys, welcome to the Wednesday Cardone University Mastermind. I'm excited to be back. I hope you're excited to be back. If you're brand new here, what we're talking about is sales. We're talking about deals. It's the first day of the month, and I know what everybody's thinking about right now. You're either frustrated from what happened last month and you're trying to pick it back up, or maybe you had a huge month and you're trying to figure out, okay, how do I do that again? And so we're going to look at a couple different things today. We got a number to dial in. It's 305-865-6404. Just for today. Don't call that back next week. This is a temporary number. All right, guys. Yeah, so call it. Hit that number right there. So we're excited to have you here. Now, I want you to take notes. If you're at home right now, I want you to write this down, especially if you're a business owner, if you're a manager, definitely if you're a sales guy. Okay, 87% of all salespeople miss their quota every single month. Okay, 87%. That is a statistic that I know that freaks me out, because I know, look, if 87% of salespeople miss their quota every month, what's happening? There's something being missed. They are messing up. That means I got 87% of my people, they're missing their quota every single month. Okay, that means 87% of the people that you do barbecues with, the friends, the family, dude, they're missing their quotas every single month. So I need you guys to get your head wrapped around what's going on here. So Grant talks a lot in these big pictures, these big numbers, and says, hey, what's that mean for you? So maybe you had your best month ever and you're thinking, well, I didn't miss my quota. I'm in that top 13%. You need to be aware of what's happening. Your customers, 87% of salespeople miss their quota every month. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to jump on here. I want to talk about a solution to the problem. Now, I know there's a lot of things that it could be. There's a lot of things that it could be, but there's one thing that I know for sure. And it's actually something that Grant Cardone says, hey, this is the Mac Daddy step of all steps in the sales process. If there was one thing that you definitely for sure should do, definitely every time, no ifs, ands, buts about it, definitely do, it's going to be this step right here. Now, I got a good slide for you guys to check out. So let's get to it. We've got a slide right here. It says, show a proposal to every customer. 70% of all salespeople never present a proposal. See how closely related that is to 87% of all salespeople miss their quota every single month? And if you notice right down there at the bottom, it says 100% of those you don't present to will not buy. So I really want you guys to dig into this. This is an extremely important part of the program. It's an extremely important part of your business, your sales. This is how you get those other deals that you maybe otherwise wouldn't get, because you can't make something real until you put a number in front of somebody. Drop in a proposal. Okay, so we're coming back here. We've got 70% of people, they miss their quota. So I'm going to show you inside Cardone University where to find that information. We're going to jump into it right now. So we've got Cardone University right here. So depending on what program you have, particularly you want to look at the sales process, which actually covers all the steps in your process. Now we're going to get all the way down here to the 8th box in here. It's called the write-up. This is the write-up, the proposal, the put numbers in front of somebody. This is how much it costs. This is what it would look like to do business with us. This is the category that I want you guys to focus on. So we got the write-up. When you go into this program, there's 6 segments inside here that I want you to study today. I don't want you guys to wait any longer on this one, because this is something that 100% of everybody needs to focus on. This is how I have big months. This is how I have a big check every single month where I'm thinking, man, that was awesome. I didn't expect to do all those deals, okay? Because what happens is this, I gotta write people up. Now, let's talk about some of the things. This is what happens in your business. You may be really worried about your closing ratio. Closing ratios are talked about a lot for salespeople. Let me tell you the problem with the closing ratio. You get what you put your attention on. So if you're thinking about, man, I got to have a great closing ratio, the problem is that you don't ever write anybody up that doesn't look like a laid down buyer, somebody who's just like, hey man, I'm ready to buy. So you don't ever get those extra deals, those extra opportunities, things that will make like major difference to, like if you did, let's just say you did 10 deals every single month, but you ended up writing every single person up. So now all of a sudden, instead of doing 10, you start doing 12 and 13 and 14 deals every month. I'm making up the number, right? But look at it for your situation. That is a big difference. Simply because you got somebody a number. Now, I want to talk about a few things because this may seem like a simple idea to you, but the problem is that people have a lot of excuses why they're not writing people up. So let's get to a couple of these. Let's talk about them. I'm going to take some callers. We already got the lines loaded up. I think we got 4 or 5 callers on there. 305-865-6404. So excuse number one, if you guys are taking notes at home, you want to write these down. Number one, the buyer won't commit. They're just shopping. I've seen so many salespeople miss opportunities because they thought somebody was just shopping, not looking, or not buying today. Man, you need to get numbers in front of them. You can't make a decision. So if you want to pull the future to you, like the proposal would be something to give them. You know, so you don't need to save the price until the end. We always do price up front. It's a policy here because we're trying to get through the process quicker. So that's one of the excuses. If you're making that excuse, if you found yourself short, you found yourself in that 87% last month and you're thinking, you know what, man, there's a couple people I didn't write up because they were just looking. I mean, I don't even know if they were buying. Dude, they can't buy if they don't have a number. They cannot buy if they don't get the number, so you got to write them up. So number two, they can't finance, or like maybe they've got a trade in and you think, well, man, they owe too much. You know, like these are things that's not your problem. That's not keeping you from doing a deal. Write them up. Write them up. Stop prejudging people. What's Grant Cardone say in the fundamentals? He says, treat all buyers like they are millionaires. He says, treat them like millionaires, and guess what? Maybe they might start acting like one. They might start making a decision. They might start making moves. So if you think somebody's financing, and by the way, let's just look at somebody who's got bad financing. You gonna take their advice about financing? Oh man, I got bad credit. Like, dude, how do they even know? You know, so this is where you want to, you can't use that as an excuse of I'm not going to give them a number. Number three, you don't think that they can get the money. That is something that is stopping you from deals. I'm telling you, maybe they think the price is too high, the payments are too high. No matter what you sell, maybe you sell mattresses, maybe you sell the brand new iPhone, maybe you sell some sort of SaaS product. You've got, some system that's crazy. You guys, your billing is 10 grand a month, and you're on the phone with the guy who's not even the final decision maker, and you're like, well, I'm having this conversation with this guy. Doesn't he make these types of decisions? Okay, you need to understand this game very, very thoroughly, because if not, you're going to get blocked. You're going to miss opportunities. Number four, won't pay enough. You think that they won't pay that number. That is a problem for you. They can't pay it because they don't have the number. You got to show them something. And then we start getting into other techniques that Grant talks about, like offering models up and models down. This is like my go-to negotiating strategy. I always do this. I give them the thing they came in on, the number, and then I go, wham, way up. Okay, I start, like in my case, I start talking, hey, look, Grant Cardone, he needs to come to your business to speak. Hey, oh, how much is that? Dude, it's $100,000. It starts at $100,000. Okay, we could get to 200 real quick. Okay, what type of impact do you want? And so, whoa, that's a lot of money. It makes the $40,000 deal that I just offered him look like unbelievable. Like, nah, man, we're good with that 40. I like that, So these are so go up, guys. Go up. Move up the model. Use what Grant's talking about there. Okay, so I know we got callers waiting.
Sarah, we've got Eric in Toronto.
Eric in Toronto, my man.
Hey, Steve, how's it going?
Man, it's going incredible. How you doing today?
Like super incredible. Never been better.
Dude, I love that.
My question is, I'd love to pick your brain on this. So for me, like at the top of the business, at least my business, where it's like high 7 figures, 8 figures, right? Mm-hmm. They're able to kind of delegate all these like $20 tasks. So like writing emails, like text, whatever it is, like all they can do is like spend time with clients and call. And that's fine, I'll get there. But in the meanwhile, there's like I can like literally call all day, but I don't really necessarily enjoy doing like writing the physical notes or mails. I'm sure you had to go through this as well. The parts, I guess, is different for everyone, but things you don't enjoy but you have to do. Any kind of tricks or mindset stuff that you found that gets it done?
Well, no, there's no tricks, there's no tricks really to what we do. There's efficiency. And let me ask you this, man. What's the net worth of your clients on average? If you had to make a number up, what is it?
It's everyone's more than $1 million.
Good. So you got millionaires.
Yeah.
Now, when they send you email communications, how many words do you think are in those emails?
So let me preface this. This is all for prospect because the client stuff is already delegated.
No, I know.
It's the prospect stuff that I can delegate.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. So the question is, how many words are in the emails coming from these people with high net worths?
It's pretty brief. Like it's
very brief. It's very brief.
Yeah.
It's very brief. Look, man, when I get an email from Grant, you know how many words are in there? Like not that many. It's sometimes like he doesn't even put periods and exclamation points and things like that. Man, it was like 2 words, When I deal with my high net worth clients, they have short communication. They have tight communication, right? So it's a simple channel of communication. And so you got to think about 2 different things. There's email as a communication channel, and then there's email as a promotion channel. It sounds like what you're doing right now because you're trying to stir up business. You're trying to drop hooks and interest and ideas and things like that to get somebody's interest, right?
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. So now here's the thing. So those are 2 different things, by the way. Now most people they're like, hey, emails are emails. Well, no, they're not. And so there's different things. So here's what I like to do. I think about the business owner. How does he communicate? I send short communications. I send them simple things. Hey, I know, my communication's tight, just like what Grant talks about in the program. I'm like, just an easy, like there's no silver bullet email, but I'll send it out and I'll say, hey, John, know you're busy, looking to, get you a 30% increase in your business. We're working with so-and-so. Do you have 2 minutes this week to connect for a discovery call? I just tell, that's it, and for you, in your case, what you're trying to do the same thing. Hey, can we get on a call? Can we chat? Can we find out what we're doing? So what I would do is I would drop in big claims. Now, you're looking for the tricks. Inside your email, like all emails, you've got canned responses. I do a new canned response every single day, and I'll send out the same email because I'm making dials, right? I do the same thing you do. I'm making dials all day long. It's dialing. I'm on a headset, so I'm actually holding it. So I'm just canned responding. Hey, John, just left you a message. Looking to get you a 30% increase in your business. Give me a call back. In the meantime, here's a link. Check this out. And so I'm just canned responding that all day long. So, I had a guy message me the other day on, I don't know what channel it was on. It was like YouTube or something on a video. And he said, dude, 250 phone calls without emails is pointless. And I was like, dude, well, like you don't know what you're doing because you wouldn't even make that statement, right? Like I'm making the calls plus the emails. I'm doing 2 touches. We have a policy of 2 touches in the office, but this is where efficiency has got to come into play. So great question, man. I know you're like, this guy's digging into it right here. So this is really good. So I would use the canned responses. I would use the same email for the day. Like I'm telling you that I change this up every day. And I drop in links, I drop in hints. So I'm thinking like, this is a tight communication, but there's some promotion in there of like, check out this link. Like my links are about Grant Cardone. It's like, hey, here's a cool video. For you, find what's right about your business. Hey, check this out. Hey, seen this, thought of you. Everything that's in the follow-up. So, dude, great question. And thanks for calling in for that. So that's a really good thing, guys, that he's talking about. And I want to show you one thing inside the program that really has helped me out. And it's inside the follow-up where, he's asking like, man, he's really just asking, how do I get more efficient? Like this guy's looking for efficiency. He's like, hey, I'm coming to work every day. I'm pounding. I'm getting in front of people. I'm collapsing the time it takes me to get successful. And he's doing all the right things. And so he's looking for efficiency. He's like, hey, how do I get better, right? Well, this is what I'm looking at. I'm going in here to like how to use follow-up tools, ways to follow up, and then these are calls for people that you're already doing business with, people that you're not doing business with. So he's thinking about people that, hey, I'm doing business with them, but what do I say? Now, there's two things. There's like a reach out, and I connected with the guy, and I talked to him, and we pitched him, and we presented to him, and I'm following up with him. And then there's a cold call, and the guy doesn't know me. I'm reaching out to him. I'm trying to earn his business. I'm really just trying to get out of obscurity with him. And then you've also got this same follow-up strategy that you could use. So what I want you guys to look at is contact follow-up for over 365 days. And I want you to watch these videos, and I want you to use the nature of the video. The nature of the video, because you're thinking, oh, day one follow-up. Well, it says call them up. It says get them on a computer. It says offer them a second idea. And you're thinking, well, I've never talked to this guy before. How do I get him on a computer and offer him another idea when I've never offered him another idea in the first place? And then you check out from that strategy. Don't do that, okay? You need to think, hey, what is the nature of this? The nature of this was, hey, I followed up. I called him yesterday. He didn't bite. He probably got my voicemail. He probably got my message. He probably got my email that I freaking spam the heck out. I know you guys are doing that. So I know you guys are slamming emails like crazy. Everybody's doing that, right? He said, well, he didn't bite on any of it. Offer something else, right? So that's the nature of day two, or the day one follow-up. It's like, and so I'm going to leave that on a voice message. John, gave you a call yesterday. Man, we gave you some information about a couch, and I figured that, man, you've been in your house 4 years, and you're probably due for a mattress, and so I apologize for that. I just wanted to send you over all the information we have on the brand new mattresses. You know, I'm doing the same thing. Hey, listen, I left you a message the other day here from Grant Cardone's office. Man, I apologize. I sent something out for you on leadership, and I realized, look, probably by now you got 10 or 15 new hires that need help. Give me a call back. Let me get you some information. Like those are I'm dropping hints, ideas, different things. So you guys just got to know where you're at on that follow-up and prospecting to be efficient. Okay, so guys, if you want to call in, I know we got another caller. So we've got the number is 305-865-6404. And I'm going to finish off with a couple of things right here before I take that next caller. Some of the excuses is it's not with the decision maker. So you're like, well, I'm not going to give them a proposal, and the numbers, I'm going to save that because I'm going to try to hold control. No, give them the information. You need to get numbers in front of them. Present options. If it's early in the process, information overload. Grant talks about this. Talks about information overload. He talks about it right all the way up front. So guys, we're digging into sales process today. Particularly, we're talking about the write-up. But look, Grant talks about in the greeting, we're going to do information overload. So this is where, right up here, we're in the greeting. This is the meet and greet. So if I don't have the decision maker, what I'm going to do is, look, man, I need to get on common ground with the guy. So I'm going to give you guys an example of getting on the common ground with an influencer. And then moving into information overload. Getting on common ground, moving into information overload. So what's common ground? Realities are the same. You think this plane is black, and I think this plane is white. Who's right? Doesn't matter. The fact is that we need to get on the same reality. So maybe I think that, oh man, I need to get my eyes checked. Like, man, this could be black. I see how, from the angle, with the way the light is, I see how you can see how it's black. I get that. But from over here where I can actually see the light, plane's white. So, but we need to get on the right page. That's the reality, the common ground. Now, if you're pitching an influencer, you got to think. They're thinking about them all day long, okay? Just like you are at home. You don't think about, you probably think about other people, but mostly you think about yourself, okay? Because it's where you're making your decisions. How am I making my decisions throughout the day? Man, you're basing it off yourself. So when I call somebody up, I'm thinking, hey, if I'm talking to an influencer, what problems do I solve for him? How does his pay plan work? That's one of the most important. That's how I get on common ground. Hey, man, how do you make money on this deal? How do I help you make more money? Not the business, you. Okay, so you guys learn this stuff inside the getting past the gatekeeper. This is what Grant talks about. Hey, love these people, man. These are the answers to all your business, all your deals. This is how you get out of that 87% of missing your quota every single month. I got to learn from this guy. So if you think that they're not the decision maker and you don't pitch them and you don't know how to pitch them in their way, it's going to cost you a deal. So before I come back to this last one right here, I want to take a caller. And if you guys want to call in, hit that number right there.
I got Mark in the UK.
Ooh, I got Mark in the UK. What's up, man? How you doing?
Hi, Steve. Doing great.
What's up, man? It's Martin. What's up, buddy? Dude, how you doing this week?
Yeah, I'm doing incredible. I mean, it was huge for me what you told me last week about focusing on pipeline building rather than flipping those who already did their business insurance a few days ago. It was huge because I got 2 times more results.
You got a deal?
Yeah, I got 2 times more results. For example, I'm targeted to present numbers to more people.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So I started to present to about 10 people a day, whereas before I was presenting about to 4 or 5 people a day.
Yeah. So you're trying to figure out, hey, how do I get my numbers higher on that? How do I actually crank that up?
Yeah, how can I get them to 15, 20 people a day?
Yeah, I mean, it's like just getting in front of those people. So it's like you got to be prepared. You got to have the right list. I think that's what you're asking. So you got to have the right list. You got to be able to call them every day. And you got to think about, like I think about getting to 5, 10, 15 dials on one list, because I don't even think that they know that I called them if I don't see at least 8 dial ticks on like a call sheet. You know what I mean? So I think most people, they make thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of phone calls, and they make 1 or 2 calls to the list, and then it's like, well, we need a better lead list. It's like, no, dude, like the people you called don't even know you called. So you got to do email, you got to do follow up. Hey, it's Martin reaching out. Hey, looking to get you a free quote. Save you 30% on what you're paying now. If I can't do it, okay, we'll never call you back. Okay, we'll pay for it for you. Like, dude, make your big claims, So those things are how you get in front of somebody, but you got to have a good list. You got to work the list. And then you got to know, like, one of the things right here is like, dude, you got to have a great attitude when you call these people up. Like, this is going to be one of the things I was going to cover today. You got to, if you want to write more people up, look, most of the people are already doing something before you call them. And so whether that's insurance, you got a gym, whether like there's like if it's a mattress, if it's a cell phone, if it's a car, look guys, what you sell, they already do. Your primary buyer probably already does it. So you're replacing what they have, but guess what? You might have reached out to them and they weren't thinking about replacing it. Definitely got to have a great attitude when you call up. Definitely got to have a lot of agreement. Martin, thanks a lot for calling in, buddy. So you got to have these things in place where you're thinking, man, I got a great attitude. I'm feeling good. Hey, listen, man, I know you're already using somebody else. That's exactly why I'm reaching out to you. Okay. I think we can save you 30%. Look, if we can't, then I know nobody can. That way you'll never have to shop insurance rates ever again. If the company you're with can beat our rates, you'll never have to shop quotes again. Okay. I'll take the quote shopping away from you today by giving you our quotes. If we can't beat it by 30%, I'm telling you, do not do business with us. What do you say? You got to go in that strong with that confident, but I got to have a great attitude. If you're trying to sell somebody a car, they're already driving a car. They're like, dude, I just got a lease 6 months ago. Dude, no problem, man. Listen, most of our clients, they had a lease before we talked to them. Okay. They wanted a second one. They had a family. They had somebody else that needed a vehicle. Okay. I helped them out because they knew they needed a better car. Okay. How's the current lease? Yeah, no, it's good, man. We're good with that. Good. Let's make the second one good as well. Okay. What do you say? Give me a shot. If I can't make sense of the money, definitely don't do business with me. Okay. You guys got to have some confidence on that. You got to have a good attitude. This comes straight down to, look, like you got to write everybody up. Oh, no, we're good. We're not doing anything for 6 months. Hey, no problem. Let me give you some numbers. That way you can think about it. That way in 6 months, you don't tell me you got to think about it. Man, I got all the numbers, everything ready right in front of you. I wouldn't even look at it. Hey, no problem. Let me give it to you anyways. So this is where you guys, it's like when you guys are walking in the mall, man. I remember walking in the mall. I walk past those people, and they'd come up, like they'd grab my hand and start putting lotion on my hand. I didn't want any lotion, but I'm like, that kind of feels good. I'm like, yeah, what's up? What do you got? Keep going. You know what I mean? I'm still sitting there. I'm like, yeah, go on. How much that cost? It's weird, but it works. So look, some of the excuses, guys, look, they tell you that they don't have enough time. Ding, 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 ding. This is an indicator of somebody who has your money. If they don't have time, guess what they have? Money. If time is money, guess what? They treat it like that. I'm telling you. That's why most people can't get my attention. That's why you can't get Grant Cardone's attention. Okay, because like he's got the money, he doesn't have the time. So he can't sit there and take pitches all day long. That's a challenge you have. So you got to treat it that way. You got to treat it like that. So if they tell you that I don't have time, hey, look, I got 8 minutes. What does this thing do? You better have a great attitude right now because you got a buyer on your hands, bud. And you got somebody who can actually pay for it. You know, so if you have all these other problems where actually people had, real financial issues where like your job wasn't the fact that they wanted it, like you had to help them go get the money. That's a different issue than being with somebody who's like, hey, look, you got 6 minutes. Like the less time they tell me they have, the closer they are to actually like being real, being able to buy it. That's the indicator that I know. Grant talks about it. He's like, look, if they got no time, they got money. So he talks about that all throughout the program. All the money closes. He talks about it. He's like, hey, listen, you need to see this as a good indicator right now. So let's get into these are the things that you got to do. So we already talked about one. Number one, you got to have a great attitude. You got to be uptone, excited, like, hey, listen, no problem. Let me get you some numbers anyways. I know you're not buying today. Let me get you some numbers. Okay? You don't have to buy today. I just want you to have the information so that way you can make a decision when you're ready to buy. I mean, you told me you're 6 to 12 months out, right? This way you got some time to think about it. Let me get you the numbers. Look, come inside. It takes 3 minutes. I'll get you the information. That way you can make a good decision. Look, you can't move anybody down the line unless you get them the numbers, and you got to have a great attitude to do this. Okay? So, and then number 2, you got to have a great presentation. Okay, because what happens is this, and if you're at home, take notes. This is a Grant Cardone, stable datum. Okay, there is a hard no, we're not doing business. There's over here, yes, I can't wait to get started. And then there's right here in the middle where there's what Grant Cardone calls maybe land. And if you can get somebody off the hard no into maybe land, what happens is, man, you're like, dude, you're in the game now. Now the game is on. The race is on. You are in the game. So you got to have a good attitude, great presentation, big claims, right? Hey, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get a 30% lift in your company's business in sales this month in 30 days. I can do it today. The quicker you get this, the quicker I can do it for you. It just requires that you have it. Okay, 30%. What would you do with 30%? I mean, I'm digging into it. I'm getting, anything's possible in maybe land. So be prepared for objections, no interest. Maybe you need to, hey, what do you like best about that? You got to start using the tools inside Cardone University. That's why this program is so deep. That's why there's so much depth. I mean, we talked about several things today. I mean, we talked about attitude. There's 3 categories on it. We talked about getting past the gatekeeper. There's a whole category on it. We talked about big claims. It's all over this program. We started the whole thing with 100% write-ups. We got into a little bit of the greeting. I mean, look, that's why this program is so deep. And if you guys want to get to a place where you're growing your sales every single month, the study, the development, it all comes with this daily training. So guys, look, I want to go back. I want to show you exactly what I started the call off with today. Inside sales process, you'll notice there's a category right here. It's called the write-up. The write-up hosts several videos, or 6 in here, that are actually very specific to getting 100% write-ups, which is a proposal, numbers in front of somebody. It's going to cover all the excuses. It's going to cover how to increase the write-ups. It's going to cover mistakes. Then we're going to get into the assumption closes. So, how to really ask, what words to ask, what to say. And then we're going to get into what you're going to run into. You'll run into objections with this, guys. Just be prepared for it. And the way you get prepared is through the Cardone University. So if you guys have any questions, give us a call. We're always going to be back here on Wednesdays. This is the Mastermind. Thank you so much for showing up every Wednesday. And we can't wait to see you guys back here next week on the Wednesday Cardone University Mastermind.